but I cut you talking about pissing in a Pepsi bottle, which is all you asked me to do.
That is, and then you outed me about it on the Discord.
And that was about how your preferred pissing method is Pepsi bottle?
No. But I figured for our patrons, they could know. You know what I mean? Like, it was okay for them to know.
No, you're not wrong.
The piss cut is for Patreon only.
The piss cut is for Patreon only. Let it be known. All right, so one order of business. We're actually here to do business for one and not just talk about pissing. Business.
Business.
Yes, Christmas.
Pissmas. Sorry.
Wow. Okay, you guys, we're getting way off track. Okay, so before this week's episode starts, I need to tell you something.
Please.
Us?
Eddie, yes, the two of you. Eddie told me to tell everyone that this is the last episode for the David trilogy.
That's true.
Which means send your emails as soon as you can, and we'll respond to as many of them as we can in our David epic mailbag extravaganza. Will they, won't they kill the boy?
The boy!
The boy!
And when are we planning to record that mailbag?
The 7th.
Okay.
All right.
Right? We give them a little bit under a week. That's enough time to do your questions.
As long as y'all are willing to record next week, that's fine.
All right, and now enjoy your cold open that we've accidentally warmed up for you.
Oh, no, it's still
we microwave it or on the stove?
You guys,
I think we did it on the stove, yeah?
You guys, they're not going to be able to tell that it's the cold open. I think we should talk in a weird accent for a couple seconds so that they know it's different. Let's all do, like, British accents, okay?
Okay.
Oi, governor, now here's your episode.
And that's a spiffing good story.
Cut that from the show, please. Cut it, please. I'm so fucking tired. I wish I were dead. No.
I think that's the cold open for the final episode. Is cut that from the show, please.
Chris,
I wish I were dead and stick it at the beginning.
Chris, do you have to pee right now? Yeah, a little. Yeah. About one Pepsi's bottle. No, I'm just kidding. I was telling Miranda Eddie that I feel like Nightmare Chris. Remember, the safe word is Gemini. Just say Gemini, whatever you need to.
In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Catherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddie.
And I'm Chris.
And we are the Anidorks. These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
I actually am prepared to set up the next book.
Good, because I'm so tired of doing it. I'm joking. I'm not that tired of doing it. I would do it right now. See, this is what I mean, Eddie. I'm so fucking testy. I'm like so PO'd. I want to yell. I want to scream and shout.
I get it. David's a lot.
I get it.
You wanna shout your lungs out.
Should we be doing a live episode should we have our first live Anidorks episode during my wedding?
Yeah.
That'd be really
That's
cute.
way better than an ABBA band.
We'll make everyone. It's the only time I can ask everyone to read a whole Animorphs book and come prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
my
shit.
God.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. And then you do the toasts, and then you go, okay, the mic is now open for anyone with comments on book 23. or whatever book we're on at that point.
Right. Yeah. And then all of our Discord friends get up there.
Because it's going to be a ghostwritten book by that point, too.
Yeah.
Which,
mind you guys, was signaled back in chapter... God damn it, where is it? I just had it up. Back when they visited Sadler in the hospital in chapter 20. Miranda, I'm so sorry this chair is creaking so much while I'm talking.
Okay.
But the machines had ghostly green lines on
Oh, that's right. For the ghost-written books.
For the ghost
The
written
ghost of
books.
Sadler is going to write the book.
Is
the ghost of
first-
Sadler's yet to come.
Is the first ghost-written book a greenish cover? That's the question.
Ooh,
A
that's what we'll
ghostly
have
green.
to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
This chair is so creaky. I can't get it to stop. That's better.
Chris, the only thing I can do is cover up the noise by reading the description of chapter 24.
Well,
Do you
so what
think?
I've been trying to do is to fart at the same time, so that it like at least
Miranda will really appreciate that if she's editing.
Oh, yeah,
makes it easier to find.
Yep,
Like,
just
it's
cutting,
cutting
cutting.
farts.
And then you can just use the Chris fart sample whenever you need to cover up another
Put it on the
noise.
Discord soundboard.
We did promise also, we in the episode we released last week that we were going to release on the balance beam.
Everything, it seems.
All right, I'll go
The secret
downstairs
for
and
me.
perform it right after this. In this
Okay.
mood.
Just channel your inner Rachel. Okay?
Yeah, I am. Fucko.
Chapter 24.
Call me Xena, damn it.
Xena.
All right, all right, that was
you feel
actually kind
better?
of cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah, your gender identity is Xena, Chris.
It might
That's
be.
what
It might be. Yeah.
My pronouns are Xena and Zener.
Chapter 24. The kids meet David inside a meeting place of David's choosing, a crowded Taco Bell. They split off into pairs so that they won't be spotted together. Rachel with human acts, Marco with Cassie, and Jake loitering on his own. Tobias isn't there because David believes Tobias is dead. When David arrives in Sadler morph, Rachel pretends to be defeated and humiliated. David joins her, kicking Axe out of the booth, claiming it's for humans only. Jake joins Rachel and David. When Rachel tries to leave, David grabs her arm, preventing her from leaving. He wants Rachel to be his guide to the morphing cube, while the others follow close behind. Rachel says that she doesn't know where it is, and Jake pretends to be frustrated, as if he just realized that David must have been in the barn spying on the meeting. Rachel acts fearful, saying that she can't lead David because she doesn't trust him. Jake calls her a coward and orders her to go with David if she wants to remain an Animorph. Everything seems to be going according to plan.
You can say it's going according to plan all you want. This is one of the most uncomfortable chapters of the entire book. I want to fucking die.
If he
There was
lays
no-
any more hands on Rachel, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
There's two big moments where he touches her.
Yeah, because he wets like something on her.
Yeah, well, I'll
It's all
explain.
like-
So
yeah.
the first one
Beans,
is
yeah.
David reached across and grabbed my arm. What's the matter, Rachel? You don't like me? I'm gonna fucking die on the spot. I can like feel someone grinding my wrist bones together when that happens. I can like the you don't like me specifically like So then while Jake is being
And
frustrated,
everybody in the Discord is defending David constantly, saying, why do the Anna Cool Kids want to kill him so bad? And it's like, freaking right there on the page.
and
It's
you
sorry.
you can't know that that's true or false unless you join the Discord on our
That's
Patreon.
right. That's right. You should definitely cut that because the Discord members have very nuanced takes on everything.
Oh, I just had a very scary thought. What if we're in a Discord with David's new group of Animorphs?
Oh my
that
god,
he's
what if
formed
David's
after
been
he
listening
got
this
cute?
whole time?
They've been listening the whole time.
Ah!
And he sports us at the highest level, which is very confusing.
That's true. That's true. The second moment
It
is
is, actually.
that Jake, in his frustration at one point, sort of like slams his hand down on his taco.
The tacos are such a weird prop.
It's
here.
really weird. And like refried beans spray
No, Axe
everywhere.
does that. Axe does that.
Dude, I'm so like not in the mood for Axe's shenanigans.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I
like
was
they
just
tried
like-
to put it in here to lighten it up, but it's just making me angry because it's like he doesn't understand what's going on.
Like
Yeah.
when David was like, Axe, go away, I was like, oh my god, thank God. Like if he's like
Yeah.
trying to eat food the whole time, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So, so Rachel ends up with sauce on the sleeve of her. So she says it's her sleeve. Like, she's wearing a long sleeve shirt, but I don't know if it's just a shirt. And after this happens, after David is leaving and he's sort of like, or getting ready to leave, he's sort of like joking about it and how like she has to do everything he says. He reaches across to the refried beans that are on the sleeve of her shirt and he smears it down her shirt and he laughs. That's killing words.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why, but that just felt like such a revolting moment. Like, it's just like...
Okay, all of book talk.
It was so gross. It was so... And it somehow felt louder than what was actually happening on the page.
Especially given that she starts to cry. Which she says she does on purpose. She's like, I was like, he's taking this extra far, so I did something I don't do very often. I cried. And I liked, in a book where she's talking so much about compartmentalizing, how is she getting through this without compartmentalizing everything that's going on to her? And the fact that he believes this is happening and that he believes he has this power over her and what he must be thinking about her and what he's doing. Like, the fact, like, honestly, this is the biggest giveaway, but he is so invested in this power fantasy that he is so wanting her to be hurt that he doesn't care if it makes sense with who she is. He wants her hurt no matter what. Like, and so she sells it kind of too far almost. And but it works because all he wants is power over her and for her to be humiliated and defeated. And like, I know we talk about, Rachel's books and Rachel's themes and things that happen to her as, metaphor and symbol of sexual assault. But like, the fact that the crime is so often about power and nothing to do with anything else really, and that it's just about being powerful over another person in the most humiliating way you can do it. Like, it is wanting to be liked. So when he couldn't be liked, he wanted to be feared. And like, that's what I'm screaming, dying.
And yet
I want to throw up.
Everybody in the Discord's like, this David guy's so great. I'm just kidding. Nobody says that in the Discord.
Just wait till you meet the for 20 books they were saying you haven't even met the best
See,
Animorphs.
this is what happens when I don't get enough sleep, is I just become like adversarial with the only people who are nice to me.
Oh, I feel that.
It is interesting though. It does kind of illuminate, like David kind of illuminates how rarely Marco seeks power. Marco does not want, he wants to be perceived as cute.
He wants star power.
Yes.
But he doesn't want power over people.
Right. He wants like Taylor
leverage
Swift level market share.
Yeah.
He wants every time he releases a re-release of one of his albums that it knocks somebody from that top spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dominance,
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
Marco
right,
the pop
Eddie?
star would be
Marco
with an asterisk at the end. That would be his star name.
But it is so incredible that, I don't know, I feel like almost no one will talk about it now. Like, this pipeline of like, and it's not always how it works, but it was very much the thought after Columbine, but people didn't want to talk about it. This pipeline of like, if I can't be liked, I'll make my mark some other way. And like, not everybody is like that, but there are definitely people who are like that. And this book is highlighting an archetype of a person that you need to be very careful of.
We'll get a chance to speak to that in just a little bit here. Shall we move to the next chapter?
Can I ask, we've already covered this, but is this a post-Columbine book?
No, right? It's 97, I think.
It is 97, and Columbine...
It's 99, I thought.
Yeah, 99. Yeah. For some reason, I always think it's 96.
Oh, wait. We do have to... Also, We just get a line of kids scarfing soft tacos, and I just thought
Oh,
that
is
was
that
a funny
you
line.
have a note that says that? Was that just a whole line? Was just kids was like describing things that were happening in the Taco Bell?
So
Yeah.
the thing about it being a crowded Taco Bell is I've never seen that in my life because Taco Bell is not.
Are you kidding?
Good. I'm just joking. I am kidding.
I've never been. Honestly, the most crowded
They have
Taco
their
Bell
own
I've
flavor
ever.
of Mountain Dew.
They do, and you know what?
Baby?
I gotta tell you this. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know that in the Taco Bell Cantina in New York City, and I assume other states that don't have draconian liquor laws, you can get Baja Blast, like frozen Baja Blast with with alcohol in it. It's like crazy. If you want to die.
I imagine it's like that Nick Kroll, like John Mulaney Hello bit where they're like people eating in 80s movies and they're just like throwing the fries into their mouth and like, fast talking, like hush.
Tires rolling down the thing. The tires are on fire. Inside the tires, babies with knives.
Now, Miranda, just remember when you mentioned draconian liquor laws, we can't tell the listeners where we live.
Right, yes, no, I'm sorry. There's several states that could be
we live
true
in
about.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah has very strict liquor laws due to the Mormons.
Why don't you go look around Utah for a while?
We're all Mormon, actually.
We're all Mormon.
This is a Mormon podcast.
Mormon
okay?
podcast.
We've said it from the beginning.
Yeah. Chapters 25 through 26.
Yes, it'll start with Chris.
Quicks, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it straight to hell.
Okay.
Seagull Rachel leads Golden Eagle David to the abandoned construction site. The rest of the Animorphs follow at a distance. When they arrive, David demorphs and then orders Rachel to do the same. He tells her to immediately morph into a rat, however. The morph that they both use to retrieve the morphing cube, inventing the act of morphdom. Once Rachel has completed her morph, David begins morphing as well. But instead of becoming a rat, he becomes a rattlesnake with more letters, quickly coiling himself around Rat Rachel. He orders the other Animorphs to land and demorph in a further act of morphdom. One wrong morph, however, and David will kill Rachel.
Hi, editing Miranda here. I just wanted to acknowledge that Chris said Rachel, and that's really fucking funny, and I didn't fucking notice. David orders the other Animorphs to morph into cockroaches. Jake makes a show of being upset, telling David that this wasn't a part of the plan, but he and the others listen to David. After they've morphed to cockroaches, David demorphs to human. Jake privately thought speaks with Rachel, telling her that David is behaving just as Cassie predicted. Rachel worries that Cassie has underestimated David's capacity for evil, but David does, in fact, behave as Cassie guessed. He scoops up the cockroaches and places them inside a glass Pepsi bottle. If any of them try to demorph, they'll all be crushed to death. David reminds Rachel that they have 2 hours to find the morph cube, or her friends will be trapped as cockroaches forever.
And now, this threat about them only having 2 hours to find the morph cube, there has been nothing to lead us to believe that it's going to take that long to find this morph cube, right?
He has no idea where it's hidden, though.
Yeah.
So, and if they spread it out into different pieces, because here's the thing, if they spread it out into different pieces, there's theoretically a world where, they did send it, they did spread it too far to all be collected in 2 hours. And they had actually morphed back to human in between. And so now he's saying, tick-tock, hard time limit 2 hours or your friends get crushed. And so, honestly, I'm a little impressed he wasn't surprised none of them said, but that's so little time, or so, I don't know. But it is impressive that they managed to find a non-alcoholic glass bottle. It was still the 90s at the time, so they did happen. But he also just finds a cap to put on it and is like, this'll hold them. And I guess cockroaches aren't very strong, but
it's a conveniently placed Pepsi bottle.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they're just in a back alley. Or no, they're on an abandoned construction
when is there
site.
ever an inconveniently placed Pepsi bottle? Am I right? This joke is so worth this much buildup. But how did David know about venomous rattlesnakes when he had a defanged horse?
Well,
I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm done. I'm good.
Always make sure to defang your horses. When you defang your horse, that's called a gelding, is what it's called, actually. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
You can only do that to stallions. But there's a very, there's an early moment in chapter 25 where he talks about what a shame it is if she wasn't such a fucking bitch. He'd have invited her to...
Oh, yeah, this is the thing.
He says she's a really harsh person. Those are the words he uses, which I believe is code for you're a bitch.
Yeah.
And then he says Jake doesn't even know how to use his powers. I mean, come on, who cares if the Yeerks are around with Animorph powers? We can have anything we want. And it's this very alpha male, I should be your leader, babe. You should listen to me. But you're too much of a stupid cunt. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't say that. You're too much of a stupid bitch to get on my level and understand that you should be subservient to me.
I think from a Joe Craft endpoint, you were right. You were
right.
right. You were right.
It is also probably just uncensored David, right?
Yeah. David
he drops the C word all
the time.
Especially at this point in the trilogy.
I don't know how KA was able to get so much on the page with him, because it's just every other sentence. And then Michael Grant's like, babe, it's your character. And she's like, I don't know why you keep saying the C word.
But this was when I started to think about the idea that he doesn't even view her as a person.
Right.
And when he said when he threw in the Jake bit about Jake being a bad leader, I'm like, oh, he's trying to take them from Jake. His ideal world is not only that he will get the power and make new friends, but that he will be so much better at it that he will take Jake's current friends.
Yeah. And once he gets there, he's gonna crash out so hard. Day one of being alone, he'll have the blue cube, and he'll go somewhere and try to meet someone and be like, hey, you want to see this cube? And people will be like, no, dude, I don't.
Keep your trench coat closed. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
Maybe the most pathetic thing about him is that there is no world wherein he even succeeds at this plan. And it's not that I expect it to make him happy, but I don't even think it just doesn't, what he's imagining for what comes after this is so shallow and he has no plan.
He hasn't thought it all the way through at all. He's never quite sure what he's going to do. Yeah. He switches plans when he's talking all the time. Yeah. He's like, I'll give him the cube. Oh, then I won't give him the cube. Oh, well, then I'll use the cube to make new Animorphs. Oh, well, then I'll sell,
and
it's
this
just...
young boy grew up to be Elon Musk.
Yeah. No, it's, I think that he is, if the Animorphs, him being in the Animorphs is high school, he's that person who graduates from high school and then just keeps coming back and he just comes back the next day after he outsmarts. He's Spinner from Degrassi.
I will say it's so impressive to me how cartoonishly evil he manages to be while still feeling like a very real, fully realized character.
Yeah, I have interacted with this person.
Yeah, I feel like I've met this guy, and and yet he is just cartoonishly evil.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's also the child version of the evil villain who hasn't finished all their thoughts yet and is just raging out.
Yeah.
What do we think they're going to do next?
I mean, they spent a few chapters ago building something that they wouldn't tell us about and making jokes about being glad there were no cinnamon buns around or Axe wouldn't be getting any work done.
Oh, so they made him an easy bake oven.
Yeah.
They're going to cook him alive in an easy bake oven with a little low wattage bulb.
I'm so mad that's not what happens.
Oh, no. As someone who hasn't read the book, I was just riffing.
We should also call out just that they're back in the construction site.
Yes.
Which is so cool.
I think David does say, he's like, of course, the only place I wouldn't look, the very place I found it. What
are the odds that I find two of these things?
Chapters 27 through 28.
All right. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Rat Rachel leads Rat David.
Okay, Rat morphed Rachel leads Rat David.
That's right.
Rat morph Rachel leads Rat David into the drain of one of the construction site's unfinished buildings. As they travel through the pipe, Rachel once again asks David about his plan. He confirms that he is planning to create a new morph-capable gang of his own, but he'll be sure to find others who are dumber than him. That way, he won't have to worry about being betrayed.
Great plan.
They find the first piece of the morph cube. Rachel says that they'll have to drag this piece out of the pipe and then return for the other pieces, but David says no. They'll just grab all of the pieces now and push them back to the exit. The fact that he believes he has thought of something that Rachel and others have overlooked feeds his ego. Popcorn Quicks!
Rachel leads David into the second pipe. She privately thought speaks with the others, asking if everybody is ready. Cassie answers in a tortured voice. May I be forgiven for what I'm about to do. Rachel leads David down the second pipe. He follows her close enough that he is stepping on her tail. Rachel steps into a new space that feels cavernous in comparison to the pipe. All she has to do was get David to join her in this space and retreat back into the pipe. But she can smell fresh air. She hears an airplane flying overhead. Rachel worries that David will sense that he is walking into a trap. He joins her in the larger space. They should have just put like a tiny video game in there, like a Game Boy or something, and that would probably work. And then immediately David knows something is off.
David tries to flee back into the pipe, but Rachel blocks his path. They scratch at each other. Rachel manages to throw David off balance, then escape into the pipe, but David snags her tail. Rachel bites off her own tail to separate herself from him. Just after she does, a steel gate drops. David is trapped in a cage. Flashlights illuminate his surroundings. As Rachel demorphs, David looks up out of his prison, realizing that he is surrounded by the Animorphs, no longer in their cockroach morphs. Tobias is there too. He's the one who freed the others from the Pepsi bottle that the Animorphs themselves placed for David to find. Popcorn Eddie.
The Animorphs reveal that they manipulated David at every turn. They anticipated that David would not be able to resist forcing Rachel to obey him. All of his actions, all of his emotions were predictable. David tells Jake that he is the man. He wins, but it's no good. Rachel narrates, I looked at Jake. He looked like he hated being alive. I turned my gaze to Marco. He was carefully staring into empty space. Cassie was crying. David hadn't asked who the mastermind of the plan was, who it was who had so accurately appraised his emotions, his need to build his ego, the fact that he would choose me to be his companion. Cassie, of course. Cassie had worked it out step by step after Jake and I failed to come up with anything. For Cassie, it was an improvement over the alternatives. See, no one was going to have to die, but David's life would end just the same, and so would Sadler's. Eventually, they would find the real Sadler's body, and then they would know that at least for them, there was no such thing as a miracle. Popcorn Quicks.
David realizes what is going to happen to him. The Animorphs are going to force him to be trapped in his rat morph, to become an Othlin. He begs them. Jake says, David, we have fought the Yeerks now for many years. It seems like an eternity. We are not going to let you beat us. We are going to save the human race if we can. There are larger issues, more important.
Rachel continues to narrate. Jake looked at Cassie helplessly. He shrugged and made a face like he couldn't stand hearing himself talk. Like, what are these guys? We're doing to you what you were trying to do to us, I said. Law of the jungle. Eat or be eaten. Popcorn Eddie.
Rachel volunteers to stay with David as he becomes trapped so that the others won't have to watch. Axe sticks around as well to keep track of time. She claims that it won't bother her to do this to David, though she doubts anyone, except maybe Marco, really believes her. The chapter closes with Rachel narrating, I closed my eyes and wished I could cover my ears to keep out the sounds, but it was thought speak I was hearing, and you can't block that out. Holy shit! I almost slipped on that. It was so painful that it almost fell.
Chewing off your own tail, for starters, is...
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
She saw one herself.
crazy, right? And with very little preparation and very fast, I feel.
Years before that movie came out.
Yeah. I do want to say something. I just want to... So if you were David, do you think you would say something like, wow, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage?
Whoa. Is that a reference to something?
It's Bullet with Butterfly Wings by Smashing Pumpkins.
Whoa, okay. You're now the cool guy of the podcast. You win, dude.
It was
you
also like a meme phrase for a while. It's like this. It's like they would show like an angry like dog, and it's like, despite all my rage, I'm still just a dog in a cage.
Yeah, they're pretty snazzy band.
There was one other thing that I just have to be a little bit of a pedant about. Rachel tells David when she's telling him when they're telling him how they tricked him, she says, that piece of the blue box we retrieved, a Lego. And I do have to say, the technical term is a Lego brick. They capitalized the L, but Lego would not be thrilled. They want it to be consistent across all platforms.
Well, they're engineers.
Lego is only an adjective.
Yeah.
Lego is not a noun.
Don't get it twisted.
There are Lego people. There's the Lego movie.
When you
there's
step
Lego
on
bricks.
a Lego,
you step on a Lego brick.
Right.
And I just, as the person who may or may not have a Lego X-Wing on my shelf right over there and a Lego Millennium Falcon behind that curtain that you can't see.
Miranda, we all know about your incredible lies.
I have to do my due diligence and make sure Lego is getting represented.
I think the moment where Jake kind of like folds, like he's trying to... I actually really want to talk about what he's trying to do there. I feel like he's trying to control he's trying to occupy like the Jake leader persona where he knows what to say and he can uphold. Like, I actually think what he's trying to do there is kind of like the part of him that doesn't want to face what he forced Rachel to do.
It's the same part. Sorry.
The moral high ground. He's trying to hold on to it. But there's none of that here.
No. He's not wrong that there are larger issues that are more important than whether or not they killed David. And so they went about this the way that they... Honestly, they probably would have had to go about it a similar way if they were going to kill him. Like, the plan's the same regardless of the final step. Like, you were going to have to trick him like this to kill him, probably. So, like, this... Unless you were willing to bring way too much attention to yourselves and have a full-out brawl in the streets or something. So... Jake is trying to give the leader answer to David as well as to everybody else. He's like, no, we had to do this. We've been doing this for a long time. We can't lose to them. Yeah. And so we have to, and he just can't say anything else. And Rachel's like, look, you were willing to kill us to be supreme. We're willing to put you in and as we'll see, like, we're really putting you in a situation where you have to live or die by your smarts. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, we're sparing your life, but we're just giving you what you wanted. May the strongest survive. Like,
I like this part where Marco calls him out for being a sicko pretty directly. He goes, "See, David," Marco said, "we knew you were in the barn listening to our every word. How did we know? Tobias. So we played out that whole pathetic scene for you about how disgraced Rachel was. We knew that you get so much sick pleasure out of forcing her to obey you."
Yeah.
And it's like, hell yeah, book. Hell yeah. Well done.
Because even Marco's a bit of a pest. You know what I mean? He hits on women all the time. He talks about women in a certain way, but he's like, this is fucked up what you're doing. Like, this is not lighthearted joking material. Right. We knew that you were so fucked up you'd be into this
when Marco
shit.
said kill him with cuteness, he didn't mean that it logically follows then that you kill them.
Right.
That's too...
And I mean, the moment is harsh. Like, it happens so fast. He gets so little time to really move from this idea that, okay, I've been caught, you got me, to realizing that, like, there's no world where they can let him go.
Yeah.
There's no friendly, he's like, my word is worth shit. I can be like, no, I won't do anything. I promise. Please just let me go. Like, and that's it. No. And he just fucking loses it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says, and I quote, because Jake is like, look, you tried to kill us. And also, like, the shit you did to Sadler's family? Like, that's fucking fucked up shit. That's so off the walls crazy.
He straight up killed Sadler.
He killed Sadler. And, like, Sadler
I don't
was
care
dying.
if Sadler was about to die. I don't care.
But we
He
know
killed Sadler.
he had to be alive for David to obtain his morph. Or at least very recently. So, like, and if he hadn't delayed them getting down to the operating room, I know it was a very small chance, but there was still a chance he could have been saved. And he took that away. And I don't care if it's a 2% chance, a 1% chance. If you take away the only chance of survival for someone, you're the reason they're dead.
That's Moida.
And he's
and it's
just...
also, I mean, it's just the total violation of what he, like, no matter what happened to Sadler, it is like the most unceremonious, like, without dignity, like, it's just a horrible thing to do to another.
And his family's just going to be confused now because it's not like he ever said, I want to live my life out as Sadler.
Yeah.
Like, they all thought about what it would mean if they lived his life out as Sadler, but that was never his goal.
Right.
I almost thought if that had been his goal, we could have wound up with some sort of weird quasi-happy ending to this. But then the aging issue comes into play, where it's like every time he remorphs, he's the same Sadler. But, like, it still was like, that was, he didn't need to do that. For any reason, except to say, you have to negotiate with me or I'll keep doing this. And what? They'll think they have their son back. That's horrible. But, like, I don't know, maybe make him put his money where his fucking mouth is. Make him live as Sadler. But he says, as they're saying all the reasons they had to do this, he says, you can't judge me. You're not God. And I feel like
I say.
Well, but I feel like this is one of the few really clear, like, God mentions that we get in these books that strive to be very, like, religiously neutral. And I don't know, it's an interesting look into David's personality that's what he thinks, that, like, people shouldn't judge one another. Is that what he thinks? Or is that just what he thinks for him?
Or it's not a matter of what he actually thinks at all. It's just what he's... I feel like the reason it gets referenced there is because it's just something else that David's willing to use to manipulate.
That's right.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Like,
that's where an opportunist.
That might be why it's so hard on Jake to keep talking after that, because he's got a point. You can't, like, you're not the be-all. You don't have the right to do this to someone. Yeah. And yet, here we are.
It's also so interesting that this trilogy goes Marco, Jake, Rachel, and then I feel like that moment where Jake fumbles, where Rachel says the thing that, the way I read that moment is that Rachel says the thing that Jake still isn't ready to admit about war.
Yep.
Like, Jake's trying to present this version of war with good guys and bad guys, which is not to say that Jake is not the good guy in the scenario, but just that, like, the moral part of it is important to him and his identity. And it's really hard for him to justify or to articulate to himself or to the others what they're doing here and how it's good and how it's like
he still struggles with shades of gray, and this is a darker shade of gray than they've been to before, really. Although I think they all know, well, they didn't kill Visser 3 the last time that's not true. They didn't have the chance to kill Visser 3. They only could have killed Alarin without Visser 3 in him. So, like, was it worth killing? That's a different matter. But, like, they all seem to agree that if Visser 3 had been in Alarin at the time, they would have killed him.
Yeah.
And this is the closest they've ever gotten to that moment. And now I'm like, will they be able to do it? I don't know.
We know that they succeeded doing something because they get tried for war crimes later.
Right,
so,
yes.
Right. Because
that's how they're giving all these testimonies.
Right, exactly. These are the Elemis tribunals or whatever.
Yeah.
So, chapter 29, Rift Summary. Rachel describes her experience briefly of having to sit for 2 hours listening to David become a Nothlit, and she says that she will hear his
worst desert island disc.
she will hear his cries and his threats and his pleading if she keeps living no matter how long she keeps living, she will hear that before she sleeps and probably in her dreams. Axe and Rachel take turns morphing to carry out the rat across a beach and over to a small little rock island, like an outcrop, like that maybe we had seen like earlier. I don't know, but there were other rats, so there was some sort of food supply. So it's not that big a deal. And they confirm that the world leaders are no longer meeting at the Marriott. They do a little flyby because that's the island's right there, and take a look, and are like, all right, we stopped the meeting, so they didn't get to Yeerk. And I guess that's good. I guess we did it, guys. Hooray!
Something kind of snapped in me after that. I didn't suddenly become all soft and mushy or anything. I didn't turn into a wimp. But somehow the joy I'd gotten from combat, the thrill I'd gotten from battle against impossible odds, well, I guess maybe I just grew up a little. Popcorn Miranda.
We never heard from David again. Not directly, at least. But months later, I heard some kid at school talking about the rock. It was haunted, he said, Popcorn Eddie.
He and his family had passed close by on a boat. He swears he'd heard a faint, ragged voice crying, "No! No!" That's where it ends.
That's a great, faint, ragged voice. My God, thank God we made it through, you guys.
Oh my God.
We did it!
Every one of these, three-parters is just so brutal by the end. And this one especially is just
crazy.
Just devastating.
Especially because it's not like the Hork-Bajir Chronicles or the Andalite Chronicles where, we sort of know the end because it happened in the past. We have, an idea of where we're going to end up. We have, no idea where we're going this whole trilogy, and it's
Yeah.
And even just this whole book. I didn't know where we were going this whole book. I was
Who knew that
what?
little island would be such a main character?
I mean, insert a picture of me aggressively pointing to my, red string board. And then I've named it personally, in my head, I've been calling it Rat Fuck Island. Is that okay with everybody, or is there another name that we feel like
Island?
Rat Fuck Boy Island? Maybe, but Fuckboy has a negative
different
connotation, but not negative enough for David.
It's true. He's worse than that. Yeah.
Do you know what's impressive to me about this ending was that they told this trilogy, and then they could have left it on a note where the story of David would be continued at some point. But they did that with the Yeerk in Cassie's recent book, the Butterfly book. They left that in,
they left it open.
where it's to be continued. But here they say we never heard from David again. And I have no idea what they imagined for the series at this point. But they could break that rule later. They could. But they also made the choice to kind of close the door here. They say we never heard from David again. It's not like David is going to receive morph powers again, that maybe he's going to change. This is the end of his story.
And rats don't live that long, which he was happy to talk about birds not living that long.
It says not directly, at least, right after it says that, which is
but
wild.
Not directly.
I assumed that this story was not directly hearing from David,
How funny would it be if he passed a message through, Eric King or something?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit like a crossover event that happens in a game where, characters from another game get to come over, but then nobody's ever going to talk about it again in the main story because not everybody got to play that. You know what I mean? It was a limited time thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they will reference David. I mean, how could they not reference David?
They must.
Yeah.
It's not even an off-series. They've vaguely referenced Megamorphs, but not a lot. But these are mainline books. The trauma of what happened with David is sure to be visiting us forevermore.
I will say this. It's book 22, turn one boy into a rat. Everybody's losing their mind.
True.
Megamorphs, whatever it was, destroy an entire species
all the dinosaurs.
All the dinosaurs. And that one alien species.
That was already going to happen.
I think if you're playing, I hear you, but we're playing fast and loose with the
It's dangerous.
rules.
It's a dangerous precedent to set because Tobias showed up back there and said the dinosaurs have to die, and everybody just rolled with it.
But also, by that logic, to maintain cohesion in the universe, he wouldn't have had to do anything for the dinosaurs to die.
Correct, and he did have to antagonize, they had to antagonize and make sure they had to sabotage their code. That's what it was. They had to sabotage their code.
Yeah.
They directly participated in that.
Who should we have brought on as an Animorph instead of David? Now that we've gone through this scenario and we see, David wasn't a good idea.
And you're coming up with your slogans for the next book, right?
Oh, I came up with them already.
All right,
yep.
good,
perfect.
Okay.
Charisse?
Because I was thinking Charisse. I also have a hypothetical I want to do.
Gotta look good.
I want to play with, but Eileen could be good for her knowledge of marine animals, but I think
Melissa with the dead eyes.
That's a good one. Because I think Eileen's knowledge base overlaps a little too much with Cassie's. I'd have a concern about Melissa's knowledge base overlapping a little too much with Rachel's, depending on how good a gymnast she is. They could just both be, physical people.
So I think the issue with Melissa
Charisse brings the artistic lens that we've been lacking, or that Marco hasn't been able to get the other Animorphs to consider. And Charisse backing him up may mean that we get this to happen.
What about what about a buy one get one free with Sarah and Jordan?
That's a good one. What about Gump?
Gump.
What about Gump?
Gump would be
too young.
About Gump.
Too young.
He has the same issue as Melissa, actually, where
I think Melissa's eyes are dead because
Parents.
she's seen. Maybe she knows something that the other kids don't. Maybe she's met
Something's
the
wrong
elements.
with her
Maybe
parents.
she's
Yeah,
got a Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of storyline happening off to the side.
I think you have a very optimistic view of children.
Well,
with
why
dead
else
eyes.
does anyone get dead eyes? What's going on at home that we don't know
just
about?
not be getting loved. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't
yeah.
know.
What about Tom? Why is nobody talking about Tom?
If Tom got his Yeerk out, I think he'd be a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because he already knows about the fight. He already knows about the fight, so you don't have to sell him on it. He knows how dangerous the Yeerks are. You don't have to sell him on that. And he's kind of too dangerous to leave vulnerable. Because you would easily be able to tell him the Yeerks are coming for you. We need to hide you and you should work with us. The way they did with David, but Marco's dad.
Yeah.
With his knowledge, he could be great. We could just bomb everywhere they are.
They can prove it to him with Axe's computer program.
He'll
buy it.
Proving is a strong word, but I think he would believe it.
No,
we can't trust adults. That's true.
Yeah.
We can.
But we can't trust anyone. That's the biggest problem.
If morphing is nanolite technology, is the fact that it allows Yeerks to morph as part of the whole package a design flaw? And if morphing is healing, why doesn't it read the Yeerk as an invasive thing and eject it from?
So I'm right there with you. There is something about the way a Yeerk latches onto a brain that seems to be overriding. Yeah, it seems to be overriding the rules of the brain. However, I don't remember. I swear we got a thing. Your whole self is morphed into Z-space. So the physical brain is sent into Z-space, and the Yeerk is still on that and controlling it. And it's tricked your body into not thinking it's invasive.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's just an accident. I don't know that it's totally a design flaw, because I think at the time morphing technology was designed, they couldn't account for it because they didn't have enough information about how Yeerks worked.
Yeah. This is probably not what people come to the David trilogy.
I have one last hypothetical before we do our game. What other urban legends could be explained by rogue Nothlets? Okay, I'm pitching toward the end of the book, Marco gets stuck somewhere between gorilla and human and is the reason we believe that Bigfoot is in the Pacific Northwest. Is there anything else like that you guys can think of? What am I missing?
I feel like what Marco was with wolf was something. I feel like that when he was stuck between, that could easily be
It's
something.
like a chupacabra type thing.
Yeah. I mean, anything that Visser, I know this is going off of what you said, but anything Visser 3's shown us could be in the ballpark of urban legend. But I do like, what happens to David is kind of giving Siren.
Siren, yeah.
Pulling people to shipwreck, calling out, yes. Yeah, you're right, though. It does have urban legend.
It has potential.
Well, I mean, we know about the guy that like Tobias helped escape from the woods, where he was like, "Go left here."
Yeah, or the crazy woman in the woods that Rachel met is like a Blair Witch type legend.
I was talking about like Tobias helped someone escape. Like, you remember there was like a drunk guy in the woods or something? It's like,
yeah. But I think I also remember in the first book also there were people that they like freed from the underground base that they just let go and they were just don't tell anyone, I guess. So But we found out about what happened with that with I don't remember what book, but book with Fenestra. The Yeerks are real chat rooms exist. So
that's right.
Yeah.
But so just think about it. If you have any ideas, send them in the Discord, send them in an email.
We'll have a mailbag. We're going to have a mailbag.
So what's our email? AnidorksPod@gmail.com? Is that right?
That sounds right.
All right. Send them there.
Maybe we should confirm.
We'll make sure the right one's in the description.
I'm positive that is 100%.
So Tobias is our next narrator. Yes. What's on the cover?
Yes. We have Tobias. So we have a red-tailed hawk morphing into a rabbit with some very interesting.
How is that possible?
I like that. What do you mean?
It's Tobias, but there's like the ghost, like an apparition of human Tobias in the background.
Oh, you can like see him in the background. Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, behind the red-tailed hawk, which is moving into the morphing.
Did we get the name?
And there's some. It's not bisexual lighting, but there's some very exciting lighting happening.
It's bisexual lighting.
Okay, so it's transgender lighting. It's lighter
like
blue and pink.
Blue.
Yeah.
It's purple, pink, and yellow.
Is that bisexual?
Yellow, that's pansexual. No, pansexual is
you may be
purple,
right.
pink,
it's queer.
yellow.
It's queer lighting.
Me Googling all flags.
Confirmed queer lighting. Okay, so here are our options, okay? This is, it's kind of going on theme, actually. Book 23 is The Pretender, okay?
Ooh.
Okay.
The Pretender.
Right.
So here are our options. I got excited doing this, so I came up with too many. Hunter becomes
You
hunted.
need to tell me how many.
How many?
6, okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Eddie,
yeah.
You can't do that.
Sorry.
Are
Hunter
we allowing
becomes
all 6?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
The end of the David trilogy.
Eddie's gonna allow it.
Hunter becomes hunted.
Okay.
Tobias is changing, just not how you'd expect.
Not that one.
Look who's hawking now.
That's amazing.
Tobias is about to discover the secrets of his past. Guess who's coming to dinner? Everybody's body changes, but not like this.
It's 1 or 4.
I think it's 5.
You think it's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Do you want me
to... You know what? Because honestly, it's really unfair to have 6 of them.
All the others.
I'm also going to say Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Have something to do with the book.
Yeah, let's lock in. It's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Show us the answer. Survey says
it was Tobias is about to discover the secrets of his past.
Fuck!
Which was number 4,
Which was number 4. You were right.
Yeah,
that was like, that's the one I wanted to be. That's the one I audibly gasped after you said. I was like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Look, I just got so excited and I came up with Look Who's Hawking Now, and I was like, no one's going to buy that. So I came up with some others. And
You really successfully threw us off with Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
I don't even know what that's implying.
You know, we had a podcast during the Haktua phase, and like we had no cause to make.
We didn't bring it up. Yeah, but this isn't a Haktua. It's Guess Who's Hawking Now. He could be selling things.
I'm hawking here.
I'm hawking here. Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!